Okay, by the time we get this thing started, hello there, folks.
Hi, Oda.
That is the sound of Campator, who's joining us this week as usual. Whether we like it or not, really.
I actually live in here. This is kind of uncool. You've invaded my personal space.
Hopefully, people are able to actually hear you because you're mumbling.
Oh.
So this is our weekly show on Tuesday where we talk about what's coming in for the game and do a little bit of exploring. We do a little bit of exploring in the game, and we also answer questions from the community. So let me post the Tiki Tuesday thread in the chat, so you'll actually see it come up on the... You actually see it come up in the Twitch chat. Also, on a weekly basis, every Monday, I'm going to try having the Tiki Tuesday thread come up, as well as sort of a spotlight on the community, which we usually did during the Friday shows. So it's like the best artwork, the best threads, things that you should definitely be checking out on that are created by our community. Okay, so let's get started. Campator, can you talk about what we have coming in this week for Okami? That was part of what you said that was totally not cool. Stream doesn't work for mobile, huh?
That's more of a Twitch problem.
Yeah, Twitch often has problems with that kind of thing. So why don't you talk a little bit about what we have coming in on Renewal this week, Campator?
Well, Oda, the Glass Time Spotlight is leaving, and we're replacing it with a Spotlight on Lighthousen. The last time we had Lighthousen, Oda has discovered, was in September 2013. So it appears it is time for that to happen.
No, I think it was actually a little earlier than that.
Well, that's what you quoted to us yesterday. Are you saying you lied?
Well, let's take a look at the Wayback Machine.
September
about
2000.
September 2013.
Yeah, so it was true. Monsters that appear in Lighthousen's field dungeons and other maps will be receiving a boost EXP on drops, EXP, and spawns. Kaffir NPCs will no longer appear in their ghostly forms. Instead, they will return to their mortal, corruptible states. Last week, we unfortunately forgot to announce the changes to Endless Tower. However, Endless Tower was changed. Currently, when a player creates, or at anytime a player enters, anytime a player receives the 4-hour reuse time, 4-hour and 7-day reuse timer to enter Endless Tower, they receive 3 ashes of darkness. Every entry into the tower takes 1 ash. They are required to re-enter the tower if you are disconnected. The ashes have a 4-hour time limit on them, so they'll disappear when your timer is done. That allows you to re-enter the tower. There is a save point for the Endless Tower on level 50 of the instance. The save point allows you to teleport to the 50th level if you, say, died, got DC'd, or somehow had to leave the instance. Currently, we're trying to look at ways to make the instance a little bit nicer to players in regards to disconnection, full inventory, broken equipment, and the like. One thing we definitely can do is make available storage and repair NPCs at various stages inside the tower. We are also trying to experiment with the ability to either save a character's respawn point into the tower, or make it so that they're forced to respawn within the tower, so they don't have to use up the ashes unless actually disconnected. This is something we want to do. We're trying to do. We've been restarting Sakurai all day, trying to get this to work, but it may not. It depends on the outcome of our testing. For some quality of life improvements to the server this week, we are adding Kafra and Tool Dealer NPCs to the Alchemist Guild in Aldebaran. Could you scroll down over there?
Sure.
We are also receiving a new box with enchantable costume headgears and the first costume back item, which is sort of a coppery pair of wings. I forgot what we were calling them. Do you remember? The wings.
The exact name of the new wings, I'll have to take a look. We're still putting together the box for that. Yeah, that's not going to show up on the stream at all.
What?
The red.
Yeah, I don't know how come that one is red.
But yeah, so you're ready for Classic?
Yes. Innkeepers, NPCs will appear by the token exchange, Alchemist token exchangers. For 6k per zenny, they will 6k zenny per token. They will give you a token that can be redeemed at each Innkeeper NPC. Only the ones involved with the Alchemist token exchange for a full SP HP heal and a couple buffs. The Aldebaran Alchemist Guild is being expanded to contain the Alchemist Exchange NPCs and other NPCs required for making potions. This week we are currently trying to play around with doing restricted item PvP rooms.
Kevin PC 1993 says, "What are the GM plans for WoW on Renewal Chaos server?" We've had a lot of feedback. We've probably one of the biggest threads we've had in the past couple weeks has been the thread about War of Imperium. Basically, the issue is that we kind of have just a handful, or actually just one really big alliance on the server. And so there's a lot of talk between the different guilds and the different guild leaders. There's kind of the regular drama, but in general, people seem to agree that the situation is a little stale on Renewal Chaos right now, and they don't want it to be like Ymir was, where I think it was a similar issue. But there are a lot of suggestions that we've seen from the community asking for either changes that we're able to make, or I think one of the big things was concern over new players being able to get into WoW. WoW TE is sort of like, that's kind of a different thing from that. Certainly when you have people with basically 10 years worth of, 11 years worth of god items, MVP cards, high-level equipment, and those are sort of filtered down throughout the years, it can be pretty daunting to try to get into that. And so some people have actually suggested MVP item and god item, maybe like event woes, something like that, where, once a month or something like that, it would be, you'd have a restriction on those or something like that. I think also people had talked about changing up the guild dungeons. I think there's a lot of concerns over people being able to supply themselves if they're a small guild. It's just sort of like, how do you make it so that newer or smaller guilds are still able to participate and for larger guilds, they would like competition. They'd like to have somebody to fight against. And so, right, another question is there any plan to reduce the amount of alliances or reduce the guild cap? I think we talked about this last week, that actually changing the guild cap would probably not be possible.
It's hard-coded into the skills that we cannot edit. In
That's
theory, we could prevent alliances from ever happening by freezing that table, but I'm not sure that's a good idea. I'm not sure what would happen if we tried that.
freezing it would be kind of rough. Limiting the number of guilds that can be allied would probably also...
It would be an all or nothing thing as far as I can tell.
Where it'd just be totally locked for everyone.
Mm-hmm. There's no I can't find a configuration file for that.
So we're still looking at what might be possible to do from our...
Let's scroll down. I want to read that guy's post.
Sure. What would be possible from this side?
Okay. Yeah, him. Okay.
I think on this page 36 or 37, there was one that was actually a bullet list of things that we could probably address. And actually, let me link to the post. Let me link to the post in the Twitch chat so you guys can see it. Shitter says, are there any plans on the WOTE time to make it up to a 2 hour, or change the time perhaps maybe up to 1 to 2 hours? Well, it should not come in the cross of classic SE. It should not conflict with classic 2nd edition WoW. We're actually thinking of having another event to change up the times when WoW's going to run. We don't want to do it while people are presumably still in school. It's possibly something that we'd have actually changing around the new year. And so we'd at least want to have a month or two for people to sort of discuss it and to provide feedback on better times. Just not
possible. How? There'd be no real way to do that.
The castle would have to
just
detect.
create new guilds to abuse that. It would be more... Nope, leave the lights off. How would we do that compared to not make it so that the currently rich just get even richer?
Mm-hmm.
Needs KRO.
But yeah, I think it might be good if we actually replied to that post.
Pretty much most of these things would require KRO development. And providing the feedback to KRO saying this is what we want is actually very viable. But would still end up being on KRO to do the changes necessary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we will probably have to change things like the scheduling of WoW. We're actually able to change on our end, so we would like to switch those up so that we had a lot of people who were not able to play starting with the last time we moved it. So to keep it fresh and to allow for them as well, we will probably be changing up the times around. Kuja the Cat says, what was the answer to the WoW situation? A lot of the suggestions that the community has given, actually pretty good stuff. The problem is that these would be very difficult to implement on our end.
Not difficult, impossible. It requires KRO development. We have to send the feedback. This is not changes we can make ourselves. Also,
the issue of making it easier for new guilds to participate. If the larger guilds create mini guilds to basically take advantage of that, I mean, it's kind of the same with any kind of high-end or any kind of beginner stuff we put in. Will this be abused by players who have been around long enough. Have you considered just not telling Caro and doing it anyway? No, actually these would be changes that would require development support. It's not an issue of us, like we'd be able to change it and just not tell them about it. This changes to the mechanics of the game usually require actual Caro work to happen. No, we're going to be talking to Caro about making changes, or at least making it so that we would be able to modify these things from our end. Okay, let's see. We could move on. Are you finished with the classic?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for the community. Okay, again, this is the thread where people have asked their questions. Asparatus asked, are we ever going to get accessories created with third-class specific headgears by Inabashiri? That was kind of the stage 3 of Inabashiri's proposal. To the GMs, what was the Caro response about these? For these, we haven't gotten a response on the gear requests that we've made. What I'm doing is actually starting up a thread where people will be able to request new headgears. At the very least, we can request that give Caro what we want them to look like, and hopefully some effects, and start getting those made. It's been a little while since we've sent them a actual headgear request, and we'll probably be bundling in the accessories for Inabashiri's project along with that, just to try to make another push. Question number 2 is it possible to make more items available for other classes? Why are they so restricted in the first place? I'd love to use some Warlock staffs as a sorcerer, for instance, since those classes will probably never get items for their own. Those are items where Caro kind of started the project and they never really followed through.
We only made half the class's gear, and it's still something we want to see done, because it really sucks that only half.
Well, I mean, would it be possible, or would we consider making those usable by more classes if they are, like, it would work for either 3.1 or 3.2, that sort of thing?
In theory, it's viable. We need to talk to Holden, though, and this is something, though, that would have to be told to Caro beforehand. Because this isn't an event. This is update.
Terra Sinks Show 91 says, is it possible to increase the XP needed for higher level guild levels to be impossible? To prevent guild levels going past a certain level, you would just be changing the XP table for guilds in order to limit the guild level you can reach. Main issue with that would probably be that guilds who are already that level,
they would have no problem, while it would hurt newer guilds.
What if there was like a reset to guild levels, or everybody gets bumped down or something like that? Or would that be pretty difficult to do? Because it's a novel idea for being able to limit that.
In theory, it's possible, but I would have to look at how the database is formed. I'm not sure where everything is tracked right now.
Okay.
I mean, I know where the tables are, so I need to look at the individual tables.
Actually, a pretty interesting, a very clever suggestion. So we will take a look at that, actually. Zoe says, wonder if they can have a script checking the extension level / alliance status of a guild. If it's not appropriate, they get flushed from the castle. Alliance breaks already kick out the de-allied guild from the holders fort if they're inside. An adjustment of that could do it, maybe. Stuff like NPC stuff we might have more control over. The only issue is that
There
it
is
having
no
to check,
call for that.
it might not have the ability to be able to actually check and see if someone has that.
There is no call.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. So for the Mora thing, it's really hard to... Blue Mage X asks, is it possible to allow Kagero and Oboro to use Transcendent-only equipment?
The class doesn't exist.
Hmm.
I don't mean like the job. I mean there's no unless there's another piece of equipment that is like that, that's Transcend and Kagura Oboro. I'm not sure how to do that.
Hmm.
Because it's not a set of check marks. It's literally just a number.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see. Number 3, why is Karo Sarut they left iRO behind with the updates?
You wrote something.
How do they know you didn't write that? Karo prepares content for all regional versions of the game, each of which is at different levels of being updated. Like, if you look at us versus some of the other regional versions, like taking Jero out of the equation because they own Gravity, but we're fairly far ahead compared to most of the other regional versions, which is not exactly something to boast about.
There's also no set update path.
Right.
They kind of just get given to us piecemeal.
And so, unfortunately, like you'll see in the later questions, it results in a lot of content that is not, it's not like, I guess you would say it's not like, oh, new maps or new monsters, new, like that kind of stuff we usually seem to get, but it's actually like quality of life, UI stuff, things like cards they seem to not remember. So there's kind of the issue of version control. But it's something that, we have regular reports to remind them what happened to this. And so hopefully we'll find some more information out about it. Dark Gazer says, hey, just got 2 questions crawling in my mind at the moment, both of them related to the supposedly upcoming level expansion update. We'll edit later if I think of more. Question number 1, I've read, or how about you read the questions, I'll read the answers.
Number 1, period. I, comma, V, or apostrophe. I've read somewhere that the update will come to us later this month. I think Campitor who mentioned this. I think it was Campitor who mentioned this in one of his past posts. Not too sure. Any confirmation / updates about that?
We should be receiving the level 160 cap increase this month for testing.
Unfortunately, we have not received any test data yet.
That's
So
right.
We can't
It's
make
probably coming a
promises
little
yet.
later in the month, so hopefully we'll have that soon, or there'll be much yelling.
Number 2, if it is indeed the next major patch in line, any idea if there will be another new content bundled with the update as well? New items, instances, etc.? Or is it just the level expansion itself?
We do not know what might be bundled with the level cap yet, but as soon as we know, we will certainly update the community.
Cheers, guys. Oh, what I'm going for.
Okay, Ice Cafe Mocha has the next questions. I think that's the announcements
The announcement.
on Classic.
Yeah. Still waiting to hear more updates about turn-ins, since you said Ice Dungeon 3 would run maybe a month or 2 after I asked the first time, which is when I asked maybe doing the bi-monthly turn-ins instead of one for a long-ass time. One place gets very stale very quickly, and the soloists would probably like their maps back.
I believe that we should be able to change that back within maybe a week or so. Get that updated. Have that event come to an end so we can start planning the next one. Actually, it'd be kind of nice to have a something in Lighthouse'll perhaps, since that's going to be our next spotlight. What do you think?
Yes, I can see that. Any thought on adding a vast guild name change? It could come to have the same setup as the name change. Just double checking the account would be the guild leader account, but I'm assuming it's all done manually. I could be wrong. I'm almost certain a few guild leaders would be interested in this.
Oh, why, yes. I'll ask for another update about that. I believe that GM Warnhall was working on that project. I'll see if we can get some more information, squeeze some more blood out of that stone. Is there another question you have?
For classic server,
I'm talking to you, Iced Cafe Mocha.
waiting.
You're free to go.
I'm not Ice Cafe Mocha.
You are for the purposes of this video.
For the classic server, is there a 5-year plan where you aim to be in direction given the lack of content? There needs to be more activities/events to make it appealing to future and current players.
I agree. That is correct. It's something that I've wanted to sort of get some more movement on. Actually, getting a timeline for when we're going to have stuff coming in on classic server. We've still been waiting on Kiro for more information, kind of like confirm or deny, or just like if there might be a way for us to get more maps added, more items, basically updates to Classic that we'd still be pre-renewal mechanics, but we'd have access to stuff that came along after Renewal was launched. So we'd still be able to have content, but we'd be able to tailor that for pre-renewal. That's kind of the thing that we've been asking for a while, and that's something that we definitely want for Classic.
The champ versus champ thing could be done, but not just for champs, or possibly adding more like 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, etc. Setting these up could be player-led with GM support in-game like the champ one, but hosted by Warp Portal, and offering prizes and such. I'm not much of a PvPer, but I think it would draw in a few more people possibly. PvP has a much larger draw on the server that's endgame is mostly PvP based. Doing 1 or 2 batches of the best of class each quarter in select groups, so XYZ one quarter, then ABC another, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, we can absolutely. If you guys can get a thread going, just let us know what you need in terms of prizes when you want to do it. We can totally provide logistics support. We can help promote it on Facebook, Twitter, etc. We can. The PvP tournament actually worked out pretty well last time. Thank you very much to the hosts who did that, and that's something that we could actually do again pretty easily. Pharaoh's Lighthouse. Okay, next questions are from Zero Tigress.
Why is the iRO Fungineer Laboratory still around with restricted access? Mobile Project Lab and iRO Fungineer Laboratory should be merged, open to all players, and be a sub-forum for proposals and suggestions. Same with Classic Suggestions and Classic Foundry. Why are these sub-forums and sub-forums separate? And sub-forums separate? What makes certain people's suggestions more valid than others? Why the need to hide them so deeply into the forums where few people can see them?
The Fungineer Laboratory is used for community-developed quests and in-game events before they're made live for everyone. For this reason, the section is set to be viewed only by people in that group. The Mobile Project Lab and Classic Foundry are public sounding boards for projects that we're still working on. It's an issue of they're not really suggestions. We're not getting secret feedback from players there. It's really a place for people to develop quests without having the community kind of seeing the ending to the quest, seeing like how to complete different events. It's things like creating puzzles and lots of quizzes. And so if those were actually out in public, there wouldn't be much of a surprise. People would be able to guess that pretty easily.
Oh, well, it wouldn't be a guess at that point.
No, certainly not. So it's just a place for them to work on it, and anyone who would be interested in creating quests for us can just let me know, and they can join up in that group if they want. Question number 2 was for adding WoTE to the WO Times thread. I've already done that. And next question.
How much longer do we have to wait for these updates from 3 to 4 years ago?
Yeah, there's some really good ones in there. Nightmare Scaraba Dungeon, which 4 years ago, gee whiz. Also, middle headgear items that should be hidden slot enchantable. The creating a Burnhild or a Spreak of God item. Lowering the Fort's Econ rating, which kind of makes sense. Buffed immune shield, that actually seemed kind of nuts. And 30 new cards, which we haven't gotten a lot of those. Those are sort of like the New World cards, and I think Malongdo cards are some of those as well. But yeah, I mean, is there any way for us to maybe get a response on the progress of these missing updates?
We can email our contact again, but that's the best we can do. Usually she's pretty helpful, so.
I mean, sort of like I had mentioned earlier, we have a lot of other versions of iRO that we're competing with for updates, and especially when they're behind, Caro probably wants to get them caught up as well. But for a lot of these, it's kind of ridiculous that, oh boy, it is kind of ridiculous that, yeah, things have gone like 4 years or something like that without getting updated. Like, that's not acceptable. Having a better way for them to track who has what, like that really needs to happen. Oops. I just know that I am going to end up getting killed by the mob in that last dungeon floor. Oh, it's right there. Implement the Frontier boards. Actually, we can work on those for next week. You want to answer, or you want to ask the next question?
Please do the following. Add permanent glass time warp, at least for VIP. It's kind of intended that you get there through normal means. Fix the Eden Group boards. Okay, so he's saying that the Eden Group boards don't allow you to remove the quest numbers once you've leveled out of them. We can definitely look at adding that check to a NPC, but maybe not that NPC, because that would require editing one of their stuff.
Yeah, we generally have much more control over things that we specifically added to the game. People have asked why we have custom content on our servers. It's usually because we're actually able to change and fix those when there's actual problems with when there are problems with that NPC or with that quest.
Add transformation scrolls plus 20 stat food boxes. Party scrolls back to Boxster.
Those will eventually come back.
Make the friends list longer.
Friends list we're not really able to change on our end. Here you go, have some agility, dude. A human. I'm trying to bless you, but I'm silenced.
I wish.
Well. Espiritus also asks if we're already mentioning quality of life changes. Would it be possible to change Spellfist to prepare like hindsight? I mean, you cast a spell and you pick the spell from a list.
Unfortunately, it's not possible for us to change skill mechanics in game without development support.
Ooh.
You're just on the normal map. You can kill them real easy. It's not like you're in.
Yeah, but they're hitting me with their hair. I mean, that's...
They whip their hair back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Fuyuki-kun asks, please remove the 5-person rule to open Thanatos Tower 3rd floor.
Unfortunately, we are unable to make that change on Renewal, as that is an intended part of the instance. Or not the instance, the dungeon. It is something we could consider for Classic, but we'd still need a good reason to do so.
50% weight, jeez. We can't carry much in this guy. Let's see, Necrohelic is commenting. Razez says, please add blue pots to the items that can be bought through buy shops.
Sure.
TerraSync Show 91 says, what about guild supply boxes and a speed pot merchant for Renewal? Stop favoring Classic.
Unfortunately, that is something that we cannot do, as we...
We can't stop favoring Classic?
No, I mean, it's...
The thing is, on Classic, Classic, there are things that we're not able to do, like adding new items and things like that, unfortunately. But some things, like adding new NPCs or adding some new items, is something that we are able to do without the same kind of requirements to, have Caro develop it for us. So when possible, we have made improvements to Classic, a lot of quality of life stuff that may not really be possible on Renewal without actually having requests sent into the devs. Melly, you want to talk about this question? This got posted pretty recently. Add Biolab 4th floor to dungeon teleport scroll, please. Is that just in the scripting? Can you put that in?
Maybe. The problem is there's a request required to gain access. So I'm not sure if we want to
true.
bypass that quest. I remember doing that quest. I did not like that quest.
Okay, next question.
I need you to click that link so I can see what they're talking about.
I'm trying not to get murdered right now.
No, isn't this in the game? I swear this is already in the game.
No, this is a...
No, we've
No,
definitely.
that's not the costume. Huh. The Heartwing hairband is in the game.
Yeah,
Or-
no, I swear we've sold it before.
Or maybe that... No. That's the one that comes with the Archbishop figurine.
No, that's.
But that's the heart ribbon hairband, though.
Yeah,
right?
this is a different one.
Yeah, it does look a little different.
Yeah, we'll definitely look into this. Cute headgears are always good. I don't know where I am. There I am. Okay.
For lucky boxes, could you make it so that you get a random mercenary box with 10 scrolls inside instead of separate bowman, spearman, swordman filling up slots that could be used for mental potions like your rice cakes, transformation scrolls, or other useful consumables?
Unfortunately, on Renewal, we would need to have Karo create a box specifically for that purpose. What?
Nirvana 21.
It would depend on if that person
do you
proceeded
wanna-
to buy the item from you.
Do you want to read the question so
Well-
we can fill up some time? No.
I can just flip the table. I mean, not much a mechanics question, but an ethical one, Oda. If you ask for a price check on an item and are grossly misinformed and sell an item for a lot less than what it's worth, can you submit a ticket regarding retrieval of the item in return for the amount given? Or is it considered a legally binding trade?
I think any trade is kind of considered like at your own risk.
Yes. The only way I could see the GMT maybe intervening is if the person who bought the item...
They misrepresented it.
Yes, they, like... let's say you found a nice sword and someone else saw you get it. And they say, oh, by the way, that sword is so common. You should just give it away to me, you noob.
Yeah, we used to have, oh boy,
Uh,
why do you hurt me?
you survived Waterball. Don't complain.
Water ball. Yeah, we used to have the problem where people would set up like buy shop for like, oh, I'll pay you 1 billion zenny for this item, and that item happened to be selling for like nothing. From you'd actually set that in your other shop to buy at a lower price, and so people would buy it from your alt, and then when they go to try selling it to you, you peace out, and that was like kind of a big scam back in the day. I love that combo. I really love. Sort of like waiting for that trifecta blow to hit, and then you just instantly hit the quad one to get him more damage. I really like that mechanic. It's like, this is why I like playing as a monk. I'll tell Karo to make him more powerful. BellD1711 says, a couple weeks ago I submitted a ticket regarding the unidentified fish quest after this conversation about it. It looks like it's a quest where you can turn in a whole bunch of items, but there's sort of no reward that ever comes out of it. It seems like it may have been an event, but something that only we implemented that NPC or something like that.
The unidentified fish quest, we would need to get the script from them.
We would not already have that.
No. As far as I know, we've all the Malagdo scripts we received are in. I believe you found a post for it that said it was an event thing.
Yeah, but It would suck if there's something that basically people have been doing and there's like no. There's sort
Oda
of no
is
payoff
not
to it.
actually on a GM character. This is Oda's character. He's not on a GM account. He does not have banned abilities right here.
Plus, I hardly think there would be any bots on the lowest level of Biola. That certainly couldn't happen. IF Yala Yoko.
Is the EXP event staying through this maintenance? Yes. Will Classic AET fixes? We're holding off on implementing it on Classic until we've polished it some more on Renewal.
Yeah, there's plenty of grease to get this squeaky wheel to go around, I think. Can we have mid-head gears to take on the jobs of slotted carded gears on Classic, such as the +2 int non-slot attack or something that gives immunity to sleep?
As maybe I could see something like that happen.
Can we get the golden wings, QQ?
We have the wings that we've received this week.
You know, they're not golden, they're kind of like...
They're very coppery, to be honest.
Straw Woodchin says, Straw Hat Shin says, will I get banned if I say Oda's fat? No, I'm not going to ban you for saying I'm fat. Like, I own up to my weight. But I can probably find another reason to ban you. Let's see. Allosaurus says, or do you want to read out that question?
Actually, we already answered this.
Oh, yes, okay. That's
Yep.
the same one. They're probably the same person, by the way.
Probably.
Come on. These quadruple blows are not going off.
Why do you have to be
that's
so rude?
I don't have any...
Don't you know he's human too? Why do you have to be so rude? He's gonna play that game anyways. He's gonna play that game anyways.
I don't...
Play that game. Play that game. Play that game anyways.
I don't... Oh, I've been doing all these kills. I haven't even gotten the quest yet. Let me find out where that jerk is. Not a jerk. They're working for the Eden Group. They're good people. Oh, wow.
So that's that.
I mean, I'm still having a grand old time down here in Islud.
Okay.
Yeah, last time I came down here, it was a little bit of a bummer.
Well,
There were... Every monster on the map was situated around the entrance, so I just got immediately killed. Kind of worried about that. I'm hoping it won't be too bad when I actually get to the exit to the next map. I should probably put some more stats in here. It's an old build. It's an old build I got on there. have for storage? Yeah, you don't have to stick around if you don't want to. I'm just having a grand old time here in Islud's dungeon.
Are you having a high flying time?
No, because we're underwater and all that.
Well, it's not really worth it.
Detonator.
We are going to have to act if we want to live in a different world.
Are you just gonna play the? Oh, dear God! You're playing that?
Well, if I'm going to be pointing and clicking at things that aren't Nod soldiers, you know, it could. I need to get rid of some of this weight.
Straw Hat agrees.
There is a very unstable situation on the ground.
That's why this is going to be archived to YouTube immediately.
Move towards more ideas that will actually help bring this thing to an end.
Just die already.
That was a hurtful thing to say, Oda.
So I'm pretty excited. I'm going to be watching some people make fun of Anaconda, the movie. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So guys from Mystery Science Theater, so I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Oh, they're doing Anaconda? That was actually a fairly terrible movie, so...
Oh yeah, whoever had the idea to have John Voight, Father of Angelina Jolie, do a South American accent is probably one of the most baffling decisions in Hollywood history.
I don't know. There was Dick Van Dyke doing a Cockney accent.
What? You mean you didn't believe old Bert was from London?
I think you should just leave the lights off. I'm not sure if they can tell on the camera.
Don't you stay away too long, Mary Poppins. See, now that'll get a copyright view.
Did you know they did a reunion of a series of episodes of the Dick Van Dyke Show?
There is a very unstable situation on the ground. It is
For our watchers who are at least 60 years old,
Praying that over me? You mock train me with a swordfish? Alright, now I'm going to report it. I wish I could just sell all this stuff. See, if you want to have a scroll that causes a NPC shop to pop up, then I would totally be down with that. Now you're playing with power. Nope, not gonna fall for a marine sphere. Oh, merman. Oh, merman. Oh, finally got my SP back. Aha, there we are. There's the pepper. Hey, hey, hey.
No mercy. Mercy is for the weak.
Just in preparation. Decay of my secret weapon!
Mercy.
Just in preparation.
Mercy is for the weak.
Getting the timing right on these quadruple blows. Oh! These guys don't stop coming. Oh.
No mercy.
Man, I have no
Mercy is for
carrying capacity on this guy.
no mercy. Mercy is for the weak.
Preparation.
Mercy.
Just in preparation. No longer will the world be dominated. Decay of my secret weapon. No longer will the world be dominated.
Finally got a little bit of breathing room. Oh, that's a BS area right there. If you guys have any questions about this ancient monk that I'm playing on, go ahead. This guy was created way pre-renewal. Alright, that's a little tough. See, I was trying to take the long way around, but that's such a BS NPC to try get to. Can't believe it. Probably needs a hide clip or something. Well, I'm kind of almost there. have to not aggravate the entire map on top of that. I think that might be okay. Yeah, anybody wants to come down and give me some heals and stuff like that, I sure would appreciate it. Here at the bottom of Byland Dungeon. Oh, that's such a nasty room. Holy smokes. Just gotta drag a couple of them at a time, I suppose. Oh, don't you get that cast off? Oh, you bastard.
Maybe not swear on stream, Oda. Just gonna say that. Maybe not do that.
Yeah, come outside. It's fun here.
Your music stopped.
Yeah, when I'm getting murdered, it gets a little quieter.
That's okay. You can die.
Well, since we're talking about sushi, I might as well put on some Japanese music. Yes. Gather all the... Oh, no, you teleported. No, 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 no. Ah, shoot. Nope. This is it. I can't. I'm lagging out. Shoot. Oh, stun? That is rude. That is rude. I'll teach you. Yep, that was the last of the pots. It's just too mobby down here. I need a party. Come on, milk. Well, that's probably as far down as I'll be able to get today. See, now this goes off. Goodness sakes. Well, maybe I'll try... I should probably head back to town. Sell some of this stuff, pick up some Kafra cards, and then return maybe this Friday. So yeah, if you guys want to actually help me out, I could definitely use some assistance with completing this quest. Man, they certainly do not make it easy at this level.
You had the camera phone over.
So I'd like to thank you guys for watching this week's Tiki Tuesday. I'll make sure to get this posted up on YouTube as soon as I can, because this probably will get muted on Twitch. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for asking questions for this Tiki Tuesday. So until next time, until Friday, I'd like to say aloha to everybody, and thank you very much for watching.